What's up, everybody? Welcome to the client interview today. I'm super excited today for everyone that's watching this. Welcome. I am extremely excited to bring to you guys Matt and Megan Morse. They are out of Panama City in Florida. They own the Sweat Shack, which in my opinion is one of the coolest names for a gym that I've ever heard. When I first saw it, I was like, that's incredible. I love this. And I'm super excited to bring them on here because they have a really, really incredible story that I think is worth a lot of gym owners' time. To be able to hear, because they've gone through a lot of different stuff. They both are extremely busy. They're both very driven. They both have a ton of skill sets, but they also have a lot of common things that I think many gym owners, myself included, when I was a gym owner, have struggled with in the past and have overcome. And I think it's really, really cool to share this story. So I'm excited to share this with everyone today. Matt, Megan, welcome. Thank you guys for taking the time.
Yeah, man.
Thanks
for having me.
That's awesome. All right, let's start this off really quick. We're going to do little kind of baseball card stats real quick. So you guys are in Panama City. How long have you owned your gym?
We opened December 2019.
Sweet. Okay, so recently, like we're talking, like we're not even 2 years old yet.
No, right before COVID hit.
we got a little toddler. We got a little toddler for a gym. You guys opened the gym like perfect timing. It was great. All right. Yeah. So walk me through where you guys were at. You joined Gym Launch in October of 2020, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. So before that, let's talk about, you guys started the gym. How many members were you at before you joined Gym Launch?
So whenever we first started out, we were like 160 roughly, 155, 160. We were kind of at that plateau where we were
losing members.
We were losing and gaining and losing and gaining. So we were kind of like plateauing.
You were at that ceiling. You kind of hit that ceiling, and it was like a revolving door where you bring in 10 people and you lose 10 people. And then it was just kind of like one of those. Okay. But you weathered through COVID, like you got 100, 150, 160 people, which is phenomenal. You joined Gym Launch. How much revenue were you making per month when you joined, right before you joined Gym Launch?
So number wise, when we look back, actually, I was just doing some numbers just the other day. We were actually at like 12,000 monthly, right? With 160 people, 155 people. It was crazy. Yeah. Insane.
Good old pricing, pulling that lever. Okay. I want to fast forward real quick. Well, real quick, before I fast forward, why did you join Gym Launch? Like what was the thing that kind of pushed you over the edge?
I think it was just that we knew we needed somebody to help us treat this like a business and not just, we don't know what we're doing. And so it took a lot of we were really scared. I was scared because it was a big investment. We knew that something had to give. And if we're going to invest that much money, we're probably going to get a great return on our investment. And we did a ton of research, obviously. It felt right.
I'm going to be real for a second, just say it was the mustache.
It was the stash.
No, but legit, like whenever we were kind of researching Gym Launch, right? We were researching other organizations as well, right? And like there was, because you want to make a good decision for your people. Like we have 160 people when we were researching this. We said we want to make a decision based on what's going to be best for our clients. It's going to be best for us, best for our coaches. Like this is a very, very important decision. And so we did some research, and then at one point we were like, okay, we're on the fence. We got to go one way or the other. If it's a no, it's a no. If it's a yes, it's a yes.
Yep.
I think the big thing for us was just, we had to take a leap of faith.
Yep.
It was like a go big or go home type of thing,
Yeah.
I love it. So why did you choose, what was the ultimate decision maker in regards to choosing Gym Launch compared to somebody else?
I think it was, we first did the 5 days.
Yeah. So we did like the high ticket, the high ticket group. We were in the high ticket group, right? And we went through all of that, and we were like, oh my gosh, like, holy crap, with just this one play, we can get like an extra 9% profit.
And to be completely honest, I was like, all right, let's just make this money and then just dip, like we're good. We don't need to invest all this. We'll do good here and then we can go. But I think it came down to when I realized how much it helped us in just that short amount of time, like what could they do for us in the long run that we obviously cannot do for ourselves.
Yeah.
I
love it. Matt, you're like going in and out.
I know. I was like
disappearing, coming in. I love it.
I was being like Morpheus from the Matrix.
I know, dude. It's amazing. So you came in through a 5-day challenge. We had like that 5-day challenge. You guys killed it. How much money did you make during that challenge?
Just over 20,000 in about 3 hours.
That's amazing. So over 20,000 in 3 hours.
We shut it off. Yeah. We're like, we got to shut this off.
Like, I gotta stop. This is going to go crazy.
It was hard to stop though.
We thought we turned a hose on. We actually cracked open the fire hydrant. And we were like, how do we stop it? How do we stop?
You had like a little crack in the dam and then all of a sudden it just blew open. It's like, I got to patch this thing real quick. I totally understand it. Okay. So you went from that, you were making 12,000. You almost doubled your revenue in 3 hours, running a quick, fast cash play, which most of our clients start with. So you started that and they're like, okay, cool. Join Gym Launch. Let's fast forward a little bit. So you've been with us since October and you were just telling me your stats. In April, what did you guys hit in revenue?
33.5 was where we were last month. But that's ultimately, like, just looking at the revenue per member is insane compared to where we were.
Yeah. How many members do you have right now?
About 220.
Yeah.
220. And you've you've essentially almost tripled your monthly revenue but you haven't even doubled your actual client base.
No. Yeah, that's right.
So your pricing before you joined was how much on average per month?
$85.
Okay. $85.
It's so embarrassing to say this.
It's all good. So you went from $85 to what do you charge now? What does your average member pay you per month?
So last month, our average revenue for
our new members is right at around $300 a member.
Yeah, 303 was the exact to be.
Yeah.
It's weird. So your revenue essentially almost tripled because you decided to triple your pricing.
Yeah.
Almost 4x. I mean, 320 would be 4x. We were 303. So.
That's incredible. That's absolutely amazing. And you guys are on pace. You should now pretty much you're on pace to hit 33 or 30, close to 35. I think you guys can hit 35 this month for sure.
That's a hope.
One more high ticket. That's it. Just one more high ticket.
We're right there.
That's it. You're right there. I love it. So let's talk real quick about kind of some changes in your setup and how much time you guys are spending. Cause I think that's a big piece for a lot of gym owners, right? I know for me, like when I started, most gym owners, right? We're working 60 hours a week in our gym, not taking home really any pay whatsoever. Cause we're like, I'm going to pour this back into the business. I'm going to treat it. I'm going to kind of look to the future and be like, I'm going to pour my time and my money into this. And then hopefully I will be able to extract cash from it and see a profit from it.
Yeah.
Before you joined Gym Launch, had you been able to pay yourself consistently in the gym?
Before Gym Launch, our revenue was actually higher than our expenses were higher than our revenue. So no, we weren't.
Yeah. So we were cash negative when starting, right?
You were in the red every month prior to starting. Okay. When was the first month that you were able to pay yourself?
February.
So you took your first paycheck from your business in February. That's awesome. And then has that grown since February?
Yes. Yes. We doubled that last month.
That's incredible. So how much did you extract? If you don't mind sharing, are you cool to share how much did you guys pay yourself in April?
$2,500. April, we paid ourselves $4,500.
I love it. I love it. That's incredible. And you went from working, I think we were talking about this offline right before, but you were coaching roughly 25 to 30 hours on the floor, not counting administrative work before, right?
Yeah. Every bit of 30 30 hours coaching.
So 30 on the floor now. And now you're at what?
I think
I'm at 5 hours and Matt's at like 2 hours, 3 hours.
I think you said 5.1. No, yeah. But yeah. I think we're basically less than 10 hours now for sure.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So you're making more money and you're spending less time, at least on the floor. Obviously you're spending a lot of time in the business. You're super busy right now. Let's kind of walk through kind of some of the evolution of this change.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
So you join, you're scared, not sure what's going to happen. You're like, man, we just made a lot of money. It'd be nice to just dip, right? Like, right. I know that's a thought process for a lot of people. I make a lot of quick cash and it's like, great, this is awesome. But you decided to stick it out and move forward. But it's not all like roses and butterflies at that point. Like there's still a lot of headaches. So walk me through kind of the process from October to now. Like what are the biggest changes that y'all have made in your business?
Okay. So for me, I'll start. I was more hesitant than Matt. I'm very much like, I don't love salesmen. So I'm going to listen to what he's saying and then I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. And Matt's a little more gullible than me. So, I love you, but so every week for me, it was kind of like a hesitation. Do we stay? Do we go? I don't know if this is going to help us long run. Are they going to take all of our money and then we're going to be broke? But as things were going and Matt was really digging in and he's a salesperson. So he was really excited to.
It's all good.
He was just excited to learn more and sell. And I was honestly overwhelmed because of all of the information we were getting. I felt like we were just going in circles and just staying busy and not getting anything done.
Yep.
But I was like, okay, we're committed for these 12 weeks at least. So let's stick it out and see what happens. I will be honest. Everything changed when we joined Legacy.
Talk to me about that.
I feel like we finally found like a path, and we had these realistic goals we could hit, and that they changed everything for us. They changed our business completely. I wasn't confused anymore. I wasn't like on the fence anymore. I was sold at that point because it changed me for like how I see my business and how I can handle my clients and how I can bring in revenue without being scared to sell and feel guilty for charging them what we were charging them.
That's amazing.
It sounds like something to add, like, you know, we made a comment earlier, like about how we treat our business differently. Like we increased our expenses, right, joining Gym Launch.
Yeah.
Right? That was scary.
Scary, right? What's crazy is, one, we got paid more as owners of a facility, but our coaches make more money. You know what I mean? Like, so you're not only going to increase your revenue, right, but we're also going to increase the retention of your staff. That in itself, like, I mean, anybody in the space knows how hard it is to get good coaches to stick around, you know, and that's been huge for me. One thing that she made a comment about, like when we joined Gym Launch back in October, one of the big things for us was like, there's so many different plays which play. Yeah. Which one do we go with? And like what she made mention about with Legacy, right? Like when we joined Legacy, it was like the fire hydrant got reopened and we didn't mean for it to. Yeah. Right? Like it was like, oh crap, we gotta patch this. You know what I mean? Yeah. We gotta hire on more coaches. We need more people to help us fulfill on what we're obligated to do to these clients. We owe it to these people, right? So
walk me through a little bit, because we were talking offline before this about how we were talking about pricing, right? And so you've obviously increased your prices. You've pretty much tripled, almost 4x your pricing. But you made a very, very interesting comment that is really important, I think, for a lot of people. And that is, you didn't just increase your prices just to increase your prices. What were the changes that you made in your service? And how has that affected both your retention as well as your client experience?
So instead of just being this gym where people can come and work out and have a community of like-minded people, we actually, we enhanced the value of what they're getting out of the gym. So, you know, we gave them kind of like, we're on that 90-day journey with our clients now. So it's it's more of a one-on-one experience with our clients, making sure that they're reaching the goals that they set. And we really dig to find their pain so we can help them. And we want them to see results. And now we're all about that, you know, results and transformations and really getting to the bottom of wherever their problem is and fixing it. And I just feel like, you know, having the meal plan, nutrition and guide and set, and then the accountability that we have now that we didn't have before, it's little things, honestly, that are kind of like a no-brainer, but
I think the framework, like if you think about like the framework of like what we do, right? Like what does our week look like, right? It's so much more result driven for our client. Like we've taken a step back from coaching, but now we are so much more, in my opinion, involved in every client versus just the client I coach. Yes. Right. And so I'm literally looking at, hey, Susie over here has been doing this, this, and this. This is her current result. Is this an adequate result, or should it be amplified? And then we then provide additional service, right? Because of the fact that she deserves that. Like she deserves to hit her goal, right? And so therefore, then we just provide additional quality of service, whether it be in a one-on-one, one-on-four, you know, situation, or in a large group setting, right? So we've completely changed our service to meet the need of the goals that our clients have.
Sounds like a win-win-win. It's a win for the clients, it's a win for you, it's a win for the business, and it's a win for your coaches. So it's like, it sounds like it's a win across the board. So with these changes and the increase in pricing, a lot of gym owners, right? I know for us, we had this conversation for a while about raising prices. I know that there was like, I don't know if I'm going to do it, right? And you did, which I'm so thankful for. And obviously you're reaping the rewards of that, which is incredible. But it also sounds like your clients have really stepped up and really enjoyed this new experience, especially with the new ones that you have. And I'm assuming your older clients, there probably was a transition in a time. Yeah. But it sounds like from what you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're enjoying a better experience right now and they're getting better results. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yes.
1,000%. Yeah. So the clients that, like our OGs, I always call them our OGs, like clients that have been here for forever, right? Like they are noticing a change in Megan. They're noticing a change in me and how we handle things, but also like what it is specifically that Matt focuses on, what specifically that Megan's focusing on, right? And so like if it's a nutrition thing, right, then they're going to go to Megan. If it's a question around, a modification, they're going to come to me, right? If it's, and so like depending on what it is, like we all have very, very defined roles.
Yeah.
But not only that, it's like the process of whenever a client comes in to talk to someone, then they sign up, then they show up to their first day in class. Like all of these things are so much more defined. And because of that, there's no leak.
But I think also just like what you were saying, Kale, our clients are actually seeing results now. And that is a big thing because they see the results and everyone that's not here sees their results and they want that. But we didn't have that before. So we didn't know how to achieve that.
It's incredible, right? The results speak for themselves and they become your best advertising that you could possibly have, which is incredible. That's awesome. So I'm getting that almost the biggest thing out of all of this, especially since joining Legacy, is clarity. And it sounds like the clarity has not only seeped down from you guys having massive clarity, but your clients also have massive clarity around how you're running your business, what they can expect, and the expectations set for them on their results and their entire experience.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's awesome. So how has this changed? How has all of this affected? Because you guys are still super busy, obviously. You're running a very successful business. It's not like you just sit around and twiddle your thumbs all day while your team does this. So walk me through, you talked about roles, like what, as a married couple, right? My wife and I ran our gym, and I know a lot of gym owners asked us, like, how did you guys delineate your roles and make sure that you guys were handling all this stuff? Tell us about you guys. Like, how do you guys, what are your roles within the business?
You want to go first?
So Matt does sales. So I kind of do a lot of the admin behind the scenes. I am doing sales, not at the level he is because it's his thing, but I'm just making sure that there's more organization now with our ones we sign on and just starting that relationship off from the get-go and kind of letting them know like, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is what you're going to see, the results. And I just make sure that everything is smooth and that they get what they're paying for. And just that client experience, that's what I'm really, really focusing on.
So you're anything that deals with really the client experience is you.
Yeah.
And then Matt, how about you?
So my biggest thing is right now is, so Megan obviously helps out on the creative and the content creation stuff as well for like our, paid,
Well, yeah, no offense. No one wants to see your face on an ad.
I'm just telling you, the only thing I'm really good at is blinding somebody with the light from the sun with a direct iris. No, So, but legitimately, so she'll run all these ads and things of that nature. They'll book a call with me. We'll hop on and we'll just see where they're at and where they're going, right? And then we'll put them into the right program because ultimately we have several different programs. And so I'm dealing with that, right? And then I also deal with anything in the gym, particularly that is ascension. So like taking an OG client and saying, hey, look, I don't want to just raise your rate. I want to give you more service. But I think it's fair to say that if I give you more, that you should potentially be giving me more, right? And so then we have those conversations, as well as obviously anything and everything when it comes to like our coaches and stuff like that. I'll handle a lot of the conversations with our coaches as far as directly with, hey guys, this is what this is what our focuses are. We're communicating now with our coaches where our goal is, where we're at currently towards that goal. And so I basically facilitate those conversations so that we're in full transparency and alignment as a team, all working towards that goal.
Has also made a big change, a big difference too.
I bet. You probably understand like fully where the business is going, which probably creates a lot of like that, communicating that vision probably creates a lot of pride as well as excitement around where they could go as well, I'm assuming, right?
No, I mean, like, earlier you had asked, hey, is it okay if I ask you how much, you're making? And we were like, yeah, sure. We literally communicate this to our team.
That's awesome.
Like, this is where we are. This is what we're doing. And here's the vision. So yeah, that's 100% what those roles are. And then obviously Ashley is helping us tremendously. She 100% owns the 90-day journey. Like 100% owns that.
Who's Ashley?
So this is Megan's business partner that basically handles all of the, she's handling most of the administrative stuff on the back end that you don't see.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So walk me through your team right now. So you two are the owners, and then Megan.
Actually, I'm the owner. Matt is my most valuable volunteer.
I'm the most MVP, most
excellent
MVVP.
Yes. So Ashley and I own the business, and
great.
She is not here often because usually Matt and I just kind of handle all the gym launch stuff. But my role, I would say, like I was saying, is ads, big into ads. I forgot about that, and then client experience. And the front end stuff, you know, like the pretty things that you see and that kind of thing, Matt's dealing with sales, and you are making sure that the clients are hitting their goals too.
Yeah.
And then Ashley, like we were saying, is the back end everything. And it's kind of like really nice to have this process down, because like I said before, we were running in circles, not knowing what we were doing, like chickens with their head cut off. And now we know what we're doing and we're getting it done and it's efficient, and we're seeing the results from that we were never seeing before.
And transparently too, right now, Kale, like, okay, paid leads and all, paid lead gen, all that stuff, it's always been there, right? But like the organic side that you guys taught us, holy crap. Like to get leads for that inexpensive is stupid. Like it's crazy.
And I feel like the way that we have learned how to sell is so much more authentic and so much more real. And we're not selling, we're actually helping them.
Yes.
You know, yes. And I just think everyone needs to realize like that is such a big deal and a big difference.
It's a massive difference. Are you using the diagnostic sales process?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Everybody's diagnostic, but if they fit better into a different program, then it's like, hey, you know what? Let's start over here, and then let's see what happens at the end of this, just to see how your body reacts. And then based on that, we'll see where we go from there. And they're like, yeah, it's rock and roll. But I mean, thinking about the high ticket, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, closing people at, $1,400 is crazy.
It's amazing.
My highest one was $5,100. Like that's crazy.
That's insane. That's insane. Especially going from like $85 a month to you just close someone at $5,100.
Wild.
Well, no, yeah. So like think about it, like when we first started with launch, right? With Gym Launch, we were at $12,000.
Yep.
I closed a $5,100 sale.
Yep. One sale, almost half of your monthly revenue before.
Right. That's crazy.
That's amazing. What's been the change in leadership for you guys? Like, how has this changed the way that you look at yourself and the personal changes? Because that's a big piece that I don't think a lot of gym owners think about, business owners, period, right? Whether it doesn't matter. Like, what are the changes that you've seen personally? And I bet there's probably been changes on your relationship too, in like how you guys, like, I know this happened with Maggie and I, like our relationship improved, like it improved as we got into the business together, and we grew individually as well as together in our leadership and everything that we learned. Has this improved, or what are the changes that you've seen?
I think just our business not being like on the rim of shutting down has improved us, because when you get to that point, life is hard and you have to take it out on someone.
Yeah.
But honestly, I was telling Matt the other day, like this is the happiest I've been in a very long time. Mm-hmm. And yes, there are still stressful days because we own a business, but like knowing that we're in a good place and that our business is not going to shut down, and that we can manage things properly now without worrying every single day. It's definitely changed its dynamic. I would say our partnership has changed with Ashley. Sure. There was always, I feel like when felt like we were failing, there was that animosity between us. Like, what are you doing wrong? What are we like? And she was probably thinking, what are we doing wrong? Why can't we, make this successful? And that's obviously not the case anymore.
I think too, though, like what it's done for like our team.
Yeah.
Like if you think about like our team, so like I'm thinking about like we have, what is it? Eight coaches?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I want to add something.
We have 8 coaches, and like these people, like they have successful spouses. They don't need this, but ultimately it's nice to have that little extra, here or there, to have that extra income, right? What's crazy though is like how involved that they've desired to be while we've made this change in our business. Mm-hmm. Like the business has completely changed. It's completely changed. Like we're literally debating right now taking down an 88-foot wall because we don't have enough room.
It's really tight.
Like, and this is everything against what, in Legacy they've taught us, like, no, stop. But I'm like, legitimately, like, there's 14 barbells being thrown around in here. And then there's, another program over here, another program over here.
We're running out of floor space.
Good problems, but good problems.
It's a problem that probably most gyms aren't having right now.
Yeah. That's amazing. Megan, did you say you had one other thing you wanted to add?
Yeah, so there was actually a coach that I felt like we were kind of butting heads for a while, and I was on the verge of like just saying bye to this coach, but they're a great coach, so I wanted to keep them.
Yeah.
But I feel like they didn't realize where we were at in our own personal life with the business. And when we started being transparent about, our revenue and the fact that Matt and I hadn't made a paycheck until February, it changed the whole dynamic, the relationship we have with this specific, or I had with this specific person.
Yep.
And now that person is just like on fire and they're crushing it, and their clients are crushing so much
it.
to the table. Yeah. So
So what you're saying is being transparent with your team and getting them to be bought into the vision and becoming leaders, better leaders, has helped across the board.
Yeah. So I think we've just defined what you own, what I own, and what that person owns. And so therefore everybody has ownership, right? It's changed the game.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what's the next step? What's the goal?
Sounds like we're going to expand the gym in a minute. We honestly, we're at a point right now where we have more clients coming in than we have room for. So even though I would like to go like raise our online side, everybody wants to be in our gym because there's not that many options here in Panama City. And it's just, we bring something that nobody else has. And it's a good, like we were saying, it's a good thing to have, like a good problem to have, but
it's still a problem. It's a little bit scary, right?
Yeah, it is scary. But also joining Gym Launch was scary. So,
but here's the other side of those. Like, what's even more scary than us not doing that is what if we don't?
Yeah.
You know, like I think about like how many more lives could we actually change and impact genuinely if we did that? Versus how many are waiting for us to be able to touch, make a touch point with them if we don't. And so it's so different from like a year ago. We wanted to do this. We were nowhere near where we are right now.
Yeah.
And so now it actually, I feel like does make sense though.
I love how your focus is on your client's experience. Like every decision y'all make is based on improving your client's experience and changing lives.
Yeah.
I love that. Like that's exactly how it should be. But it also is really cool because there's a lot of gym owners that will take that position and they'll be like, I just care about my clients, which means that I'm going to forego charging what I'm worth, providing a service that is equal to that or even above what I'm charging. And they lose their own self-worth in that, right? And they sacrifice their life, they sacrifice their business, they sacrifice their family, and they sacrifice their time to try to please everyone else. And you guys have created a system and a process within your own gym to where you can meet both of those needs and be successful at it.
Yeah. And I think it's fair to give credit where credit's due, right? Like we didn't necessarily create a system. We didn't create the process. We fabricated y'all's process to work for us. And ultimately, like it's ridiculous, man. It is.
It's awesome. But you have to put in the work, right? And that's the thing too.
Yes,
like,
there is work to put in. Yeah.
There's a ton of work, right? Like here's a question. Like, are you guys working harder? I would say harder now, or has it been has there been more work now than what there was in the past?
I feel like we are working smarter.
Yeah.
Significantly more efficient. So we're not on the floor.
We work hard, things get done versus before work hard and nothing is getting done.
Yep.
The rubber met the road, right?
And I think that's what for me, I was like, okay, so we don't do Gym Launch. So we're still going to work just as hard, but not succeed. You know what? Let's listen to what they have to give us and we can't lose.
This is really cool though too. This is a great example for anyone that's watching this and listening to this. So Alex talks about this in regards to the marketplace will define the value of your skill set, right? And previously before joining Gym Launch and up leveling, right, your skill sets as leaders, as salespeople, as coaches, as gym owners, as just business owners, period, the marketplace valued your skill sets at $12,000 a month, right? But through you guys putting in the time, putting in the effort, coaching your team, stepping up, becoming better leaders, becoming better salespeople, providing a better experience, the marketplace now values your skill set at 3 times that.
Right.
Which is a testament to y'all just being able to build your skill set and acquire new skill sets and then put those into place. Right. Which is pretty freaking amazing.
It doesn't make sense.
I know. It's like, what? Wait, what? But it's cool because the marketplace never lies, right? The marketplace will value you at whatever the value that you'll be able to provide for it, which is really cool. I love it. So what's something that you love since joining the community of Gym Launch? What's like one of the coolest things that most people don't talk about or maybe don't think about besides the money, besides all that stuff?
Actually, what you just said, the community of Gym Launch,
okay.
The people that, have your back and are right there with you. And we have learned so much, not from just Gym Launch, but from the people that are also involved in Gym Launch. I mean, you guys, the coaches, the other members that are here and building that relationship with them and seeing where they're at. And we all help each other along the way.
So for me, I think the big takeaway, right? Yeah, the community is huge, right? But my background, I think you know this, right? But for years, I managed $750 million a year for Target, basically. covering all the way across an entire, 12 different locations, right? I thought I was decent with sales.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, every single day I see people that like not one up me, but they like 30 up me. Right?
It's not a competition, Matt. It's not a competition.
I sit here and I'm like, there's no way that so-and-so just did that. And it motivates me to go do that. And so like whenever I jump on that call every single day at like 8:00, not only are owners, but like the employees of owners are in there with a desire to make themselves better at their task, at their skill.
I love it.
They're investing in themselves like crazy so that they can help others. That's crazy.
I love it. For those of you that are watching, Matt is referencing what we call the boiler room, which is Monday through Friday. We have sales training where we do objection overcomes at 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So your Central Standard Time. Good old panhandle of Florida. Yeah. We're so big, crosses time zones. But we do for 30 minutes, Monday through Friday, we do objection overcome training. So gym owners hop in, we go through stuff, and then we break out into breakout rooms and literally just hand-to-hand combat and sales to give everyone the opportunity to get better with their peers, which is really cool. And it's been really cool. We have a Slack channel with everyone. That's how he's seeing all these people. They drop in their closes. And I saw somebody like Keith dropped in yesterday. He had like 4 paid in fulls at like $1,700. He ripped out 4 in like 4 hours. And it was just like, this is insane. It's amazing.
So the one that got me was the $14,000 day.
Yeah,
from not like just from like a regular day.
I know.
I was like, this did not just happen.
I know. It's crazy.
It's funny to me because Matt was throwing all these numbers at me before we joined Legacy, and he was like, yeah, this is how much, if we really do, we could do like $2,000 a week. And I was like, that would be crazy. And now it's like $2,000 a week. And I'm like, this isn't real. It's going to stop eventually.
I know. But it's cool though, because we go back to the skill set aspect of the fear of knocking down that wall and expanding.
Yeah.
Right. But you have acquired the skill sets that and the clarity of exactly how you can fill that spot and make that the best move possible for your business.
Right.
So it removes any fear of growth, any fear of taking that next step or the unknown, because you've acquired the skill set that you know how to sell. You know how to go out and get people. You know how to sell people. You know how to provide an incredible experience and keep them. And all those pieces, which is pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, right now, like full transparency, I think we're adding between 4 and 7 a week. And I mean, they're at almost quadruple what our normal rate was when we started in October.
What's the percentage on organic versus paid traffic that you bring in per week?
That's tough. I mean, because what's your thought? I was going to say, I think organic's more right now. Yeah. Because a lot of looking at the last 2 weeks, almost all of it was organic. 2 weeks before that, we were heavy paid traffic.
It's like every other week is organic and then paid.
So it evens out. Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys using the high ticket application process for the organic?
Yes, we are. However, the upfront collected, right, is awesome. But then you have to go for that every month, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's kind of where you have to continue to reinvest that time after. And that's like a reoccurring monthly workload that you as a business owner have to do, right? Versus just the regular EFT or whatever your monthly revenue is. So yeah, hope that makes sense. But ultimately for us, that's where I personally, right, am working heavily is on that front.
Building up that monthly reoccurring revenue to where it's set, you've got that number. We talk about it kind of as that freedom number, where if your monthly reoccurring revenue hits all of your numbers that you need to plus profit, to where any new cash that you get up front, is just gravy.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I love it. What is that number for you guys? I'm just curious.
So basically 18 is like our bare minimum. But again, we're 33.5 last month, trending about the same this month. Hoping to get that 35. I'm hoping.
I love it. You will. You will. It's one sale. That's one sale, dude.
I know.
I mean, those 2 ladies. We got one that's like right there.
Here we go. That's it.
No, it's a mom and daughter. And I'm like, that's 3,000 right there.
That's it. There you go. Now you hit it. So what's the next? So that was, so for anyone that's wondering, in Legacy, we started a quarterly strategic meetup for everyone in Legacy where we sit down and we define goals. We plan out what the next steps are, how to achieve those goals. Because a lot of times, and Megan, you hit on this, it's very overwhelming when you hop into launch. We got a lot of information. There's a lot of different plays that you can do, and there's a lot of things you can do to grow your business. It's just figuring out which one is best. And many times as a business owner, right, we're defined more by our no's than by our yeses, right? And so it's sometimes more important to say no to something than to say yes to something. And you guys came out of that last strat meeting with a goal of hitting 35,000 or averaging 35,000 a month, correct? Within Q2. So you hit 33.5, and now we're close to potentially hitting 35. And then the goal is to hit over that in the month of June.
Yeah.
Yep. So if I get these two that I talked to yesterday, because I've got to follow up with them, if those two were actually sign up, then I would actually be trending to be perfectly on.
Love it.
Understanding though that, just me thinking out loud, June's going to crush.
Yeah.
So I mean, that being the last month of the quarter, I'm not concerned about that at all. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. And then we get to set new goals.
Yeah. So I mean, thinking about this like perspective, right, is like 37 was the Q4 goal last year.
Yeah.
We're doing 35 a month.
I know. Dude, it's amazing. It's amazing. So now thinking about it, I'm looking forward. I want to do another interview with you guys at the end of October, like 1 year out.
Cool.
Okay.
Like look where you're at, because we've got June, July, August, September, October, 5 months. Right. So we got 5 months left, and it'll be really cool to see where you guys are at. I'd like to see you guys personally, selfishly, at like 50K a month or more.
I would be fine with that. I would be okay with that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. As long as, you're not opposed to making more money, are you?
I'll settle.
I actually hate money.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
And just for the record, we don't live in a town with people making a lot of money. Like it's not.
Let's talk about that. What's the average income in your area?
34,000.
34,000, and you charge $300 a month on average.
That's what our average was last month. Yeah. For
awesome. And here's a question. Other people think like, oh, cool. Those must be like, you must be this superstar salesperson and all this stuff. How many times do you get an objection when someone signs up?
100% of the time.
Yep. So.
I mean, like if you don't get an objection, your prices are too low.
Exactly.
Like, I think my favorite book is actually Go For Now.
Yes.
Like, cause it's literally, I'm just on the hunt for the next yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because every no I get, I'm closer.
I don't know.
Yep.
Matt can do that. It kills me every time, but I got to push through and it'll be okay.
That's the, got to change your identity in the sales process. Take yourself out of it. Take yourself out of it. I love it.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I can't go into it thinking I'm selling. I'm going into this thinking I'm going to change your life. And that's
it.
But hey, you got one 2 days ago. You know, she got a semi-private, and
there you go.
And I don't even think you got an objection.
I didn't. We were
Look at that. The
crying.
First time. She was crying, you got her crying. You took her through the entire thing.
Oh, I cry all the time. It's normal. I'm always crying.
That's amazing. That's
my
awesome.
emotions right here.
I love it. So let's talk about your levels of service, right? So you're large group primarily. That's the intro, right? Large group. What's the class size that you cap it at?
No, we're not large group. We're more like as many as we can fit in our small space. So it's like 10. Okay,
so your class cap is 10. You're kind of in that no man's land in a sense that Alex talks about.
Yeah.
We are, because of the simple fact of our facility. When we launched with Gym Launch, right? Like we already had a facility.
Yeah.
Now that we're looking to expand, we're looking to change that layout to accommodate large group.
Love it.
Right. But in the same format that we currently have, if that makes sense. The classes would be the same, just larger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we have that. And then we've got semi-privates.
Which is our 1-on-4.
Yeah.
Love it. And what's your price for that? What's your price point for a large group? Let's talk about that. What's your price point for a large group?
It's $49 a week.
Okay. And then semi-privates are 4-on-1. And what's your price point for that?
$119 a week.
For now.
Okay. I love it. And then do you have one-on-ones or privates or just those two?
We have personal training, but it's more of like just to get them into that semi-private,
The anchor. It's the anchor.
Nobody wants to pay $80 for
$80 45 minutes. $80 for 45-minute sessions. I don't care if it's one session or if it's 30 sessions. It's $80 a session.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. Which is perfect. It's the perfect anchor, and then the feeder into the semi-privates, which ultimately your margins are better anyway.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Honestly, the coaches love coaching the semi-privates. Like it's kind of interesting. Like getting feedback from coaches is one of the biggest things I can tell people. Is get feedback from your coaches, because feedback is the number one motivator of change.
Yes.
So if you want to see change, you need to seek feedback.
Yes.
The coaches love coaching the semi-privates.
I love it.
That's a huge thing for us. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Now, mind you, we launched that when we launched Legacy, and that's where the big fire hydrant came.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is cool because you realize like all of a sudden you offered this new thing and you were like, oh shoot, there's a lot of people that actually want this.
I did not think we were going to sell one. And then Matt sold one. And I was like, you're crapping me. You did not. No one's going to pay us $119 a week. And we have like 15 now.
That's awesome. And when did you start that?
March, the last week of March.
So it's really only been like 2 months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
So basically what it is it's like, hey, $80 a session, 3 sessions a week, it's $240. Or for half of that, I can give you basically, semi-private, right? And I'll throw in some nutrition and I'll throw in an accountability coach for you as well. And they're like, no brainer. Cool, great.
Yeah.
But see, my coach at Gym Launch, can I shamelessly plug his name? Or?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So Dave said, hey Matt, you can't go up until this point.
Yes.
Because I've been wanting to go up to 149, but he's like, Matt, no, you can't go to 149 until you hit this benchmark. When you hit this benchmark, then sure. And so I think that's one of the greatest things though that I've loved about Gym Launch, right? Is just the fact that you guys know this path. You guys see this path so
You've been
often.
through it yourself too.
Yeah.
And so as quickly as I want to just go, yeah, let's go 149, boom, right?
Yep.
I mean, he's like, no, you're not there yet.
I love it.
So that was a really, really like humbling moment. But at the same point, it was like, you know what? Everything that we've done, we've followed to the letter.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
maybe I should hold off on the 149.
I love it. What's the benchmark? Go ahead, Megan.
No, that was just another point Matt was saying. Like, it's hard to do everything you guys say because we're hard-headed. Like that's what we are. Humans are. But whenever we just said, you know what, let's just do what they say, everything, and don't think for ourselves, just listen to them because they've been through this and that we're talking about. That really changed the game for us, honestly. I think that is definitely where it was.
That's awesome. That's very similar to my story. Gym Launch was the only thing I ever did in my business where I didn't try to tweak it. It was like, I was at my last straw back against the wall. I was like, all right, I'm just not going to pull my entrepreneurial, like, oh, squirrel. I'm going to go.
Yeah. No, that's it. Nail on the head. Perfect. Yeah.
That's it. So what was the benchmark that he set for you, by the way? I'm curious.
So once I get 20 with an 80% close rate, then go.
Love it. That's
and so
awesome.
right now we're at, I think it was 16, if I'm not mistaken, 16, but at 90% close rate.
Love it. You got 4 more.
So yeah. And
that's awesome.
But keep in mind, it might only be 2. Because the 2 that we talked to yesterday
they might just flow in. So that's basically 1 sale, but you get a 2 for 1.
Bingo, that's a 2-fer.
There you go. Those are the best ones. Now so you have your large group, your semis, which you're growing, which is awesome. And then you have online as well.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So how many people do you have online only?
Online only isn't as heavy as like our hybrid side, right? Okay. Like our in-gym clients that are like OGs, we ascend them into like a hybrid format for our challenges and for different things like that. And just like right this very moment, our hybrid side, we've got about 30, 35. But ultimately it hasn't been our largest focus, to be transparent.
That's okay. Well, you're capitalizing on what's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Staying focused. Small side, going more to the personal side real quick. You guys have kids, right?
We have only 4.
Yeah, just 4. Okay. So not only are you married, working in the business, but you also have 4 kids. What are their ages?
9, 8, 7, and almost 4.
Yeah, you're not busy at all.
No.
Not busy at all.
We actually hate time. No.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so you guys are really, really good at managing your time.
No.
Yes, we do a lot of work between 10 and midnight.
Well, and I think too, though, like Kale, like I think that's part of our problem, right? It's like we had so many things to do that weren't actually doing anything for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like right now, like, so something that we don't typically talk about, right? Like outside of Gym Launch, right? Like I own a different business other than the Sweat Shack. Megan is actually a wedding and lifestyle photographer outside of the gym, like on top of the 4 kids, right? Like, so people don't realize these different things because of the fact that they see what they want to see, they hear what they want to hear. And I think one of the things that I think was the biggest thing I actually learned from like the first 2-3 weeks of Gym Launch was that people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught.
Yes.
And like, I legitimately probably tell myself that 10 times a week because I know what to do. I just need to be reminded to go do it.
Yep.
And our clients know what to do. They just need to be reminded to go do it. And so, yeah, that's for me, that was one of the biggest things.
And someone to hold them accountable to it.
Yeah.
That game changer also.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
Now, in the coaching program that you're in with Dave, how often do you meet with him?
It's bi-weekly. It is basically whenever our meetings are, but ultimately we have been so busy. Like I told him, I apologize, but we have just been that insane.
Yeah.
That he's like, bro, it's okay. Just know, book the call.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, hey, I haven't seen you. I need you to book that call.
All good things. It's okay.
Good. Get on that call. This is your reminder. We need to be reminded more than we need.
Get on that call.
Take 30 minutes, book that call. Like, do it. Rock it out. That's awesome. That's cool. I love it. Well, I know we got to go. You guys are super busy. This has been amazing. For those of you that are watching this, drop a comment if you guys got any value from this. If you enjoyed this from Matt and Megan, do me a favor. If you're watching this, Matt and Megan, you just heard, they're super busy. I know gym owners reach out to people that do these interviews, but just be very aware that they are very busy. So if you do have questions about the program, feel free to reach out to them, but don't expect a reply right away. And I usually try to tell most people, like, yeah, you can ask about experience and all that stuff, but like, don't want to tell people that you have a ton of time to be able to do that. So just respect their time for those of you that are watching. But guys, real quick, last thing, anything that you would tell someone that's sitting there on the fence about joining Gym-Ons?
If you want your business to succeed, just do it. Jump off the cliff. You will not regret it. I promise.
I think my biggest thing, Kale, is like, you guys right now have like a ridiculous promotion.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of stupid.
Just book the onboarding call.
Yeah, don't wait.
Yeah.
Book the onboarding call. Like, that's so stupid.
let us make you some money. Just let us make you some money. Let us prove ourselves first.
Please. Yeah, I think for me, I guess the biggest thing is like, you know, the skepticism that I had, right? Way back in October. It's not there.
No.
Like, and the reason why was because I had a limiting belief. And that's one of the biggest things I think that held us back from growing the whole time was my personal limiting beliefs of what was possible.
Yep.
You should get in there and do it.
And what's really powerful about that too, is the community, going back to the community aspect of seeing those sales happen. Like, beliefs are broken by seeing that consistently by other people who you're like, I'm just as good as they are or better. Like, there's no difference between me and them, right? They just happen to be asking for more money and making more money than me, but I know that I can do that. And that's the power of the community, the power of being able to be around other A players and other gym owners within the community. But guys, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I know you guys are busy. This was kind of short notice, even though I asked you last week. This is kind of short notice. I appreciate it. You guys enjoy it. For those of you that are watching, drop a comment, a thumbs up, a like, a love, show Matt and Megan some love. I appreciate you guys. And I look forward to doing this again in October, and we can see where you guys are at. We got to get you guys a sword. That's what I really want.
I'm telling you. So you made the comment like about getting to 50. I'm like, I think we need to get to 84.
Yeah. We need to get to 83, 3, 3, 3, 3. Like, let's get to 84. We'll get you guys a sword. How about that?
Okay.
Sounds fair enough.
Awesome, guys. I appreciate you guys.
Okay.
All right.